Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So this is probably one of the most ambitious videos that I have ever made before. I made a Q10 versus a Q20 video, but now I've got the Q30s. So what I'm doing in this video is I'm doing a comparison between the fantastic Soundcore Q10s, the Q20s, and the Q30s. And the important thing is finding out which is the right pair for you and which one you should spend your money on. Now I'm going to give you a hint. They're all three really good and they cover the spectrum from about $39 to $79, but each one of them is kind of designed for a different kind of listening experience, and just because one is cheaper doesn't mean that it's worse. It just means that maybe this one versus that one might be a better headphone for you, and we're going to talk about that in this video. But before we get there, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Now let's talk about the headphones. So I have here in my hands, or in my hand rather, all three of them, the Q10s, the Q20s, and the Q30s. Don't let the numbers fool you. I mean, there is some sort of a superiority in between the different numbers, but really the Q10s are not worse than the Q20s. They just don't have active noise cancellation. So thinking about it this way, in order of progression, the Q10s are regular headphones, but one thing they have is the best bass experience out of all three of these headphones. So we've got the Q10s. They start off at about $39. Sometimes you can find them on sale for about $10 less. Then we have the Q20s. The Q20s have a balanced listening experience, but they also have active noise cancellation. They have hybrid active noise cancellation, which takes those like low frequency noises and kind of eliminates them, so you can have a better listening experience, don't hear as much going on around you in the outside world. Great for traveling. They're more comfortable. They've got a more premium feel and look to them. And then we have the new kids on the block, the Q30s. The Q30s built off of both of these headphones. So these actually have a really good sound experience. They have the best sound quality overall out of all three of the headphones. They're the only ones that have the Soundcore app support. They have hybrid active noise cancellation, which is on par, maybe a little bit better than the Q20s, but these also have transparency mode, which uses the microphones to pick up the sound on the outside so you can listen to what you're listening to on your headphones, but then you can also get that experience where you can hear what's going on around you. That's really cool. So Q10s, Q20s, Q30s. You can see here, there's a little bit of an evolution that's changed with these headphones. So the Q10s, they have this one kind of molded soft cushion piece up here on the top, and then it's just like one big piece here kind of. They don't really pivot, they don't angle, they don't turn, they're just there. And they're not as comfortable as the Q20s and the Q30s. However, they do have really big ear openings here, which is kind of important because I have kind of on the small side ears, I'll admit it, but these will fit a wider range of people. One thing that comes down to it when it comes to active noise cancellation and all those other niceties is how well they fit on your ears. The Q20s here actually have a smaller opening on the earpiece. So these right here are going to be better for covering your whole ear and giving you a tremendous bass performance. These right here, if you've got like kind of wide ears, these might kind of squish down on your ears and you won't get that really good seal like you should if you want to have active noise cancellation. And then back with the Q30s, they found a way to kind of enlarge them, make it a little bit wider again. So the Q10s and the Q30s are going to fit a wider range of people. The Q10s, you can see here, they fit just fine. Because of the over-the-ear experience, you get really good sound isolation. The volume on these is fantastic. The bass is amazing. It hits really hard. It hits harder than the bass on the Q20s or the Q30s, and it has the bass up technology. So you can press the button, turn the bass up to where it hits even harder. So if you're a bass head, you want these. If you're a gym rat, you want these. These have great volume, great bass. They're not as amazing when it comes to the vocals and the mids, but it does still sound good, and especially if you're talking about $39. If you're, like I said, bass head, spend a lot of time in the gym, outside running, throw them in your bag, don't want to worry about them, these right here are for you. They don't come with a carrying case. They do come with a charging cable. They're USB-C. They give you up to 60 hours of listening time with bass up technology on and listening to your volume really loud. You're not going to get that. For the battery life on these, I believe it was rated at like 60% volume, and the bass up is turned off, and that's how you're going to get the 60 hours. All three of these headphones are rated for up to 60 hours, but when you have the extra stuff turned on, they're rated for about 40. So one thing you need to know, the Q10s and the Q30s actually have a USB-C charger, whereas the Q20s are micro USB. One cool thing is with the Q10s, on a 5-minute charge, you get 5 extra hours of listening time. That's pretty crazy. So if you're in a hurry, you need to get to the gym real quick, you're trying to rush to get on an airplane, the headphones are almost dead, you can recharge these quick, fast, and in a hurry. The Q20s, with the 5-minute charge, you get about 4 hours of listening time. And then with the Q30s, again, just like the Q10s, 5 minutes, you get 5 hours. So that's pretty impressive, I think. When it comes to comfortability, the Q30s are the most comfortable. The Q20s are also very, very comfortable. They're really kind of about the same. You can see that there is slight changes in the design. So with the Q30s and the Q20s, they made the Q30s, I think, a little bit lighter. You can see here that the headband goes up a little bit higher. And then you get a little more flexibility, a little bit more narrow here, more sleek whenever it comes to the earpieces. They are all basically made out of plastic. These are not like the really premium feeling ones. I mean, for the price, I mean, $40, $50, $60, $70, I think that they feel like they're made well, they're good quality. But if you're going to compare them to like Jabras and Sony's at like the $300 headphones, in that department, they're not necessarily going to stack up. But I don't have any problems with them whatsoever. The Q20s and the Q30s have a very soft headband on them. It's not kind of like that rubberized material. It has this kind of leatherette material, just like on the ear cups themselves. Q30s, like I said, they're the most comfortable. The Q20s are the next most comfortable, and the Q10s are the third most comfortable. Talking about active noise cancellation. The active noise cancellation is actually very similar in the Q20s and the Q30s. The Q10s have it not. Q20s, the sound isolation I feel like is a little bit better in these, the passive noise cancellation, and I think that's because the ears are a little bit more sealed up on them. On the inside, like I talked about before, there's a little bit more narrow window there, so I think that it wraps around your ear on the inside a little bit better. That's just my guess. But Q20s, the noise isolation does seem to be slightly better, and the active noise cancellation is pretty good at eliminating low frequency noises, even sitting out here in like my office, having the air conditioner on just 6 or 7 feet away from me. I mean, it's a 10,000 BTU unit. It takes out so much of the noise. It makes it tolerable, it makes it bearable. When it comes to the Q30s, the active noise cancellation seems to be slightly better when it comes to the low frequency noises, but it seems like you can hear voices a little bit better, or at least mine does in my own testing, or in listening to music. But overall, active noise cancellation is solid on both of these. And then when it comes to the transparency mode, that's where the Q30s excel. The Q30s are the only one with transparency mode, which picks up the noises on the outside. I was really, really impressed at how good it was. This is something that I really didn't think was going to end up in the Q30s this year, so it really surprised me. I've tested out transparency mode, hear-through mode, ambient mode, whatever you want to call it, on 3 different sets of headphones this year, and it's really, really impressive at $79. I don't think you're going to beat it in the under $100 price category. So, we've talked about functionality. We've talked about what they have and have not. Oh, one thing I do want to say real quick, Q10s, Q20s have bass up mode. Q30 does not have the bass up mode. But again, like I said earlier, the Q30 has the Soundcore app, which lets you adjust the equalizer. So it has tons of preset equalizers. It has lots of different noises you can listen to for like going to bed at night, white noise, different noises going on. That's really cool. And then you can customize the equalizer if you want to. So you can get a better overall sound experience out of these, and the overall sound quality is better. Vocals sound better, mid sound better, high sound better. Even with the default, without even using the Soundcore app, you can listen to all 3 of these, and the Q30s are definitely better. Volume is better than the Q20s. Bass is not as good as the Q10s, but you can adjust that with the equalizer. So these are a little bit more limited. You get whatever the experience is straight out of the box. This is customizable, it's tunable. You can get the best sound experience out of these. So what is the sound experience like? On the Q10s, very bass centric. not a whole lot in the high department. And then the mids, I mean, they're okay. You can hear voices just fine. But if you turn on bass up mode, it drowns out the mids even more, and especially the highs. But if you're listening to rock, if you're listening to rap, if you're listening to hip hop, if there's a lot of stuff you're listening to that's not overly mid-centric and has a ton of bass going on, you're gonna love these. These are definitely a lot less expensive. I mean, these are like $39, these are $79. So there's a big price gulf there. And ideally, if you're, like I said, bass head, gym rat, like to do a lot of stuff outdoors, really like to listen to that hard-hitting music, these are gonna be for you. The call quality on the Q10s is okay. And going back and listening, the call quality experience on the Q20s is definitely better. I think it's kind of about even when it comes to the Q20s and the Q30s. I didn't find it otherworldly impressive, but it's definitely good enough for making phone calls. You can hear all of that good stuff. The Q20s, they have good volume. They have better mids and highs than the Q10s, but the Q10s have better bass. You can get better bass with these by using the bass up, but then the bass up technology, you're going to lose out again on the mids and the highs because it re-emphasizes, it puts the power and the emphasis on the lower sounds, the bass, all that good stuff. So if you want to listen to rap, hip hop, things that are hard hitting, you can get a better experience on the fly with these just by turning on the bass up technology, and maybe you won't care so much about the other areas, but it definitely diminishes them. However, whenever you're listening to them without bass up on, the bass is not all that impressive. I'm going to say that right now. But when you turn on active noise cancellation, it also does kind of feels like an EQ shift to where it emphasizes the mids and the highs, and because you're cutting out those low frequency noises, the bass is not as prominent and the overall experience is not as good as it is whenever active noise cancellation is off. Looking at the Q30s, bass has good tone. It doesn't have as much depth, but you can adjust that inside of the app. It definitely makes a difference. The app is all the world the difference in these because you get that global equalizer. So whether you're listening to Spotify, whether you're listening to Apple Music, whether you're listening to YouTube Music, whatever you're listening to, the equalizer in Soundcore will dominate. It will overwrite everything. Whatever you're listening to, the equalizer makes it better. Definitely make sure you go into whatever apps you're using. If you have changed the equalizers and default them out, you don't want these two equalizers competing with each other. But equalizer in here, fantastic, works for whatever you're listening to, really gives you the ability to adjust the sound experience how you want it, which is something you don't get with the Q10s or the Q20s. Bass on these can be really good, the tone's good, the depth can be there. The mids and the highs are where these excel over the other two. The mids, the vocals, the instruments, the highs are definitely something that you can feel, you can hear, the difference is there. The quality in the drivers in here are definitely newer, better quality, better tuning, great sound experience. I have really, really enjoyed listening to these. Going back and listening to the Q10s and the Q20s, they do have a really good sound experience, especially for the price. Talking about $49, $59. Actually, I was looking today, 22nd of October, you can get limited time sale on the Q20s, $44. I've got the links for all these in the drop down. Go ahead and check that out if you're interested in picking up a pair. But right now, October 22nd, the Q10s are $39. The Q20s are $44, which is definitely a fantastic deal. Normally they're like $59, $69. And then you have the Q30s at $79. And if you pre-order them, I think they had a way you could pre-order them and get like 30% off on the Soundcore site. So check that out. Also check it out with the links for Amazon. But best sound experience overall is in the Q30s. They're lighter, they feel a little bit more modern, they're super comfortable, they've got that transparency mode, they've got the Soundcore app. These are the next level. And I've been waiting all year since the Q10s and Q20s last year, been waiting for these. They are every bit what I expected them to be and more, and I thought they were going to be at least $100. $79 and then being able to get them on sale or pre-order cheaper is a steal of a deal when it comes to a set of headphones. So if you can get these cheaper, definitely go for them. Comfortability wise, almost identical to the Q20s, but the sound experience is there, the equalizer is there, the app support is there, transparency mode, fantastic. If you're a bass head and you like to listen to your music loud, go with the Q10s. Bass up technology is fantastic. It hits so hard. Like they definitely hit the hardest. And then the Q20s, you get a nice balance experience. You get the same essential active noise cancellation as the Q30s, pretty much. And then the volume is solid. You get the bass up technology. You're good to go. And that's pretty much it. Again, all three of them last for up to 60 hours. One other important thing is they all have the 3.5mm headphone jack. So in the event that your batteries die, you can plug these into whatever you want to listen to, and you're still covered that way. And on the Q20s and the Q30s, the active noise cancellation still works whenever you have them plugged in, and you get transparency mode on the Q30s even whenever they're plugged in and the power's off. So lots of flexibility there, lots of great features that don't even rely on there being a battery. You can plug it straight in and listen to them that way. Really, you can't go wrong with any of these. It just depends on what kind of sound experience you're going for, how much money you want to spend, what level of comfort you're looking at, and whether you just want a straight up power experience with bass, whether you want a little bit more comfortability with the noise cancellation, or you want to go full bore, comfortable noise cancellation and transparency mode. And Soundcore has you covered for all three. Again, if you're interested, check them out. I've got the links in the drop down. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.